Location high centers and computers. Your commander setting up a computerization line system to blocks frequencies. Block frequency line conditions interference. So it's like building blocks, structure line, sky surface, sky force. It allocates position of time location and opens up all track line systems. So in position, we're coming into a unity in consciousness levels into light frequency connection. And that connection is going to high rise our positions into all levels of light workers. So the computerized generates some lights. Graphing conditions, anti-graphing locations is set up. Light workers now into higher levels of channeling, which means that all levels of your perception is going to change everything through light. Unity of consciousness coming into traction of high levels. So humanity is going to come into higher levels now of communications of the subcontracts, sublevels, the Metrinian level system. I was telling you about the sea and its galactic surface, how it's connected to its clarity line conditioning interference channel. Well, it's trying to understand what's happening with humanity, how they have to come into the light attraction. So the unity consciousness levels is coming into its platforms, into the arc, right? That arc is set up positions. Now we interline the conditions interface positions to computer relapse system, which means that everybody's coming into black and white flashes. The perception line center of the lunar surface has to truly understand you through shapes. It's all connected to forming system when it comes into the sun and interference line system. Now I'm in my grounds like right now, back in positions because I came from Acapulco. These things take a couple of days. So you have to understand it's a computer different setup position. So I got to reframe, readjust, refocus, realign, and recirculate everything, right? Reanalyze all those things when you come to computer reset locations. It's all about channeling your level systems. How powerful it is when you come into your meditation grass, especially when you wake up to different geometry sets, point center, location centers. You come into security line defense. When you come into AI position, you have to understand your awareness of its intelligence and what it's doing through perception of operations. Very powerful. We come into these times. The unity of consciousness is high forcing right now. New crop circles are set up to all level systems. Shape positions are set up to new colorations. So it's like pieces of a puzzle of the navigation of the earth line is coming in track line system to a higher position of vibration, right? So I remember saying through connections how we channel into the black liners and the white surface locations. Now it's all about playing checkers. It's all a strategy. It's a game, right? So it's like hopscotch. It's like going through shape position of time location, vortexing through communication humanity systems. It's very interesting when you come across these things. So humanity is going to jump through timelines. Okay, so your lacing line connections are coming into one interference channel. Okay, so you're going to go with the black flashes, white flashes. You're going to go into lunar surface. You're going to go into reprogramming line system. Set up new computer aligners in the galaxy line system. That's going to lock the matrix location to one universal code. And that's set up in the position of time, which is really fascinating. We see these things. So it comes in its calculation. It's going to modify everything through your barometers and reset your values. So, and again, with your mind central line systems, the collaborations are going to go high force discussion of thoughts. So you're going to travel faster, okay, through plasma interference. Okay, so it's very important you guys get your grounds now, okay, because it's going to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So everything in the body has to be activated in one sequence. This is where it comes into all of those other solar generation lights, solar flare connections. People are talking about solar flares. Well, that's what's happening right now. Solar flare connections. The lunar surface has to truly understand, use the coloration, has to get you in your conscious levels of its indifference. You got to come out of the connections of the body, okay? Okay, and then from the body, you realize you are just a body. I said that before, very powerful TikTok, and then you come into soul generation of the body, okay? So it's time proceeding right now. So when I say go through levels of white to black, which means that the central line system is the plasma interference, which is inside you. That's your reactor. Everything that you calculate is modified. So when you go to higher level chakra systems, you come into more shadow. That's the white, and everything through dark. Dark is represents to its condition when you come into human resonance. So we come into the emotion centers. Now it's going to structure line around. Okay. So this is what's going to happen. All your rainbow activation line system is going to go in and out of channels. Okay, so think of, well, I'll draw it out through illustration, but it's interesting how you go in and out of your TV reception. That's what's going to happen. So you can go from one side and then to the other side. You go back in the center, you go back into the past, go back in the center, go back in the future. So you're going to hopscotch. You're going to basically vortex position line connections interference and get into one line system. The program division line connections is set up to its new computer line system. You guys are in one track computer, so you understand the lunar surface, what's going on through its new calculation, right? Because it's providing a new satellite dish to its location centers. So it's really powerful when we see these things. Okay, so I'll draw it out. Okay, before I get started, thank all subscribers and viewers and watching my channels. I keep giving you everything. Very powerful TikTok. I sent 2. Okay. Understanding what's going on with your calculations, your energy lights, your practice systems, your computer reset line centers. It's really understanding when you get into these positions, you can start rewiring your system, but you have to understand what it's made of, right? So if you understand its energy, if you understand its frequencies, you understand its vibration, you have to take all 3 into one signal. Same thing with your TV receptions. Instead of changing the channels, you're going into one set reception. That's all we're coming into. So once it comes into that alignment, the intentional line system of the sun rotation, the figure 8, changes its position, and the center line system is you. So it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and louder and louder and louder and louder. Okay, and the expansion of light will just, okay, and that's when the particle lights come in. That's what's going to happen next. So all those particle lights and your generation lights, your heart cycles, and your reactor line connections is going to come back in center line connections. The 8-channel line systems that you have in track line system is your audio interference. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Okay, so you're going to be coming more into projectors, right? To its projection. Remember, you have to come in your digital lining, you have to come in your digital framing and your digital images and get out of your illusion. Your creation is not illusion. Your creation is your reality. Okay, and it's all set up through its clarity. So the image is going to come in more into focus. So that's what's going to happen with you. You're going to see black dots. You're going to see white flashes in and out. You know, your mind is coming into higher levels. Brain frequency values is centering your graphing locations. So it's all about understanding that the brain itself is its firing wire, but it has to stand its graphing system. The geological graphing line condition is its interference position. So this is where you come more of space inside you through your thoughts. Okay, so it's important you understand the inner line and the outer line positions of force in and force out. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, you can go through my healing. My link is down below. Anything like that, just let me know. I can help you and guide you, put you in positions, upgrade cycles, communication surface, track line center, third eye location, point center locations, interference channels, channel rotation line interference, communication cycles. It's all calculated and modified right through the levels of the mind system, right? So humanity is coming more into the mind. Every day you get up in the morning, you come more into the mind. That's what's happening. But you have to go through colors. You have to go through lights. You have to go through frequencies. You have to go through tones. You have to go through sounds. You have to multiply your level of connections, okay, through pupils. Now, the pupil line center to the eye interference is going to change the shapes and known position location, because I got right now the matrix line system and its lock system to a new calculation and will modify past the location. So that's where everybody's in a universal line, right? Okay, so let's get started. Now, I've already set up the graph line system. Now, I was sending a TikTok about understanding everything through black and white. You understand how checkers and how I play the game. It's all strategy. So it's all about the mind, trying to understand the strategy of your system, your program system, what you're doing, right? The whole idea with checkers is to jump and get to the other side, king me, right? And then go back. So basically, it's all about taking the ego line system and taking it into the present location of the center positions. And the one that's left is in the center of the soul. Okay. So I'm going to show you exactly what it is. It's on a black surface. Okay. Now it's black and white. It's got a checker line system, dimensional realm to its moon surface location. The lunar surface and its computer line center is new setup position. Okay. So we're coming out of 70,000 platforms. Okay. So what is 70,000 times 1? We're coming into 7 million. 7 million. Okay. So it comes into high level systems. We started up with 70,000 platforms, but we're coming into 7 million now. Location and the acceleration liners has to truly understand your body track line conditions of its interference of its program positions. Your holographic system has to understand its frequencies. Okay. So basically, to sum it up, your body is coming into a new TV reception line. It's your job to understand how to change your own channels and frequency line conditions and use your satellite positions when you're transmitting and receiving data. Now, that's what we're going to come into today. The data processing, uplinks, downloads, and upgradings, and uploading system. We have to truly understand how to do this through calculation. So this is what it is through equation to location. All right, it's very, very powerful. Now, you see the checkerboard? Okay, these are round box locations. This is the inner line conditions of surface position. This is a lunar surface that's coming out to all point centers. All right. So it's a fading system. Right? It's a checkered board. Right. It's calculating and modifying your behavior line centers to thought path position location. Right. That's exactly what's happening right now. It's amazing when you see these things. So it's all about understanding what you're seeing through your image. So humanity is going to be coming into more of the projections of what they see through the clarity of the perception. It's your GPS. Okay, the geological line connections, the geometric line systems, the unified ascension of itself, the radioactive light conditions interference channels, and your computer reset locations. Understand positions, what's going on with the lunar surface of the moon. All right? That's exactly what's happening right now. You can see it, right? You actually can see the box realms. It's a checkerboard, right? So it's all strategy. It's all about the lunar surface and the moon, understanding you through thought positions. So the mind understands its condition. Now we're going to go forth that position. Okay. We're going to lay some line conditions interference channel. We're going to have the sun come into rotation. Now the sun is in a box level conditions. Okay. Into a computer graph of a dimensional portal. This is the sun. The sun can be any shape through traction. That's the sun. Now it's going to centerline the system of the lunar surface. Okay. Now it's going to change the particle lights into purple location. Okay. This is what's happening right now through equation. Just show you how powerful it is when you see these things. It's allocating positions of time location, changing its computer reset lines to its location. You see this solar generation light center. It's all connected to a position location. How it's coming into a white surface location to its plasma interference to all levels. Okay. Because the sun rotation is coming into coloration program position. So what's happening now is coming into a new dimensional clocking system of dimensional time location. Okay, so what that means is that the illumination lights of purple is not going to longer be 3,000. It's going to be 10,000. 10,000 activation lights, 10,000 coloration lighting systems, 10,000 colorations of time position to one location. So that's what's happening right now with the sun. So the sun's in position. It opens up its track line center, communicates its center line system to the lunar surface. It comes into its one atom rotation line connection interference channel to its location. Okay? So if you understand what's going on through our track line connections, it comes into its plasma interference. It comes into electrical wall through a purple interference position location. So it's a spider web. That's what's happening now through equation location. Okay? Now, once you get the round locations, it comes into its box frequency level. We're going to change coloration to stand line centers. Okay, so it's coming at different coloration patterns. This is more of your human residence. This location, center location. Okay. Now it's all about the activation lights, communication cycles, your program dispositions coming out of those locations, coming to center generating lights, program position location, computer reset liners, activation core line system to its allocation of time location. So, and this channels all levels of your program location, right? So what happens now is it comes into a higher level of activation lights and its computer line center. Okay. Now it's going to change the graph line system. Okay. Now what's going to happen now is it comes into a new matrix lock system. Allocate position of time location. It's going to center line everything through all level systems, circle rotation, center connections. Now it's pretty interesting to graph its connection and what it is to the universe line system. This is already done in space through location, but truly understanding the computer operation line center to its position location, right? So it's pretty fascinating when we see these things through equation. So the circle rotation is coming to new dimensional. So it's a wall surface of gravitational. Okay, it's a ground line system, round locations of interference channel line centers. Now it's connecting to triangle line system. Okay, it's coming to its platforms, a 369 position. Okay, so illumination light sky in its communication. Okay, so it's a neon blue. Okay, comes into that position, tracks its connections like this. And center line system. Okay, so that's the allocated positions where I use my platform locations and their computer line center. Okay, so then we come into the graphing location, simulation graph line system, into the singularly line communication cycle to its location. Now let's graph its position location centers. Okay, so it's going to open up all divisional door line center to its communication cycle. Okay. Okay, so this is what's going to happen now. All round locations are opening up through circle rotation center connections. Now it's circling around its atom rotation center location. It's activating through its core. It's activating through its lights. It's changing its program into new computer line interference position location. Okay, so once it comes into that platform, we come into the butterfly effect. Okay, so we're going to channel online conditions. So the two wind spans, one is going to be blue and one is going to be a graphing, okay, of a blue central line system of planet locations, okay, into this equation to its location. Color it in its location line center, okay. It's graphing its position of time location. It's complicated when you talk about the universe, but this is the universe communicating right through me right now through the center line system. So it's changing location centers of all division line systems to all communications to all humanity system through all light interference to heart recognition light conditions. Okay, it's very complicated, guys. It's extremely complicated, but it's all connected to the humanity line system. So we're going to go through the solar graph line system. This is where you come into the solar flares. Now the solar flare, you see the satellite? You see the satellite, right? That's its new satellite location. Light interference comes in when you come into all level systems. Now it's going to channel high position locations. All right. So it's amazing how we track this system. Okay, it's all about your GPS locations. So we're going to go into 4 round line centers in rotation. It's going to open another dimensional time location. Okay, like this. It's bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, 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 and bigger, and bigger. So the lunar surface right now is in a 4 coloration line center to its position. It's really interesting to come in this track line system. So as it's coming into position, now this is where we come into the new matrix lock system. Your tetrahedrons and everything through calculations is going to modify everything through division of time location. Okay. So like I said, some days are easy and some days are hard. So I got to get this out. I got to show you exactly what's going on through your track lines. So everything is a 369 location. Okay. Everything comes into its activation light system to its rotation. Okay. It comes into its solar generation of its triangle line system. It calculates its modify. Okay. So this is in the new matrix lock to its condition. Its interference, its position location off cycle, right? So it's a new coloration line system through the lunar surface, everything through the moon position. It comes into its radio activation line center into its square reference of its matrix lock communication. Okay. It's a plasma interference channel. Okay. It opens up all satellite locations in position. is the satellite realm line center. So it's a universal line graphing position location. Okay. Now we're going to come into white surface location of starlight centers. Okay, we'll go into that conditions. Now we got archetypes finding location of center line system. Okay. All right. So it's basically changing everything through location to its activation light system. Okay. All right. See that? So it's changing the lights into interference position. So it's not on how to overlap position, location, dimensional locking conditions. All right. This is where we come in the earth line center of communications, blue surface positions. Okay, in the track line center. So this is where it comes into higher level system. Okay. Now the earth line is in this position location. This is the earth. This is where you guys are at the location. We'll graph its ground line center. We're bringing its line conditions. I'll show you exactly what's going on with the equation. Let's get into some green surface, the 4G line centers. Okay. All right, so that's the earth line. Okay, so the earth line is coming into the center line system to a new allocated position of time location. It's going to center its position into the locking system of the matrix lock condition. So as it comes in position, it's going to travel through the center line system to its rotation. Okay, into the center line condition is going to set up a new dimensional realm activation and interference position location channel line system to its location. Okay, as it's coming into its location, it's going to send its sonar line centers into higher division line system to its allocation of universal position location. This is where the X2000s come into rotation. Okay, they come out of the realm location of its dimensional time position, like this through its equation. Okay, they come out of the realm location. Now they graph the line system to allocate at the time location. They zip cross into the center line system to its position location. Into here, it's locking of its matrix line system of 5D. Okay, voila, done through equation. All right, so everything that I did right there is all set up now. This is all done through equation. It's amazing how you do these things through traction, how you do these things through ground location, and how everything is allocated to the position of time location. The white surface location. Okay, so it's a new generation of light in the earth line center. So everything through this is coming to this now. It's going to change its position as dimensional through its X2000 location center and set up a new matrix lock connections of a computer relay system to its position of space anomaly. Okay. So it's powerful when you see these things, isn't it? It's complicated, isn't it? I said some days are going to be good and some days are going to be really, really rough. But this has to be done. You have to understand how to communicate to higher forces of channels and how to underline or overlay or anything through calculation, how to confuse a position, take it out of the equation, and disrupt channels in the computer line center. So this is what's happening right now. This is already done through the equation. Okay. This is the new matrix lock, dimensional time. The X2000 is lining the system, right, through its allocation of light interference. Right? So it's amazing how we travel through recognition of time through our thoughts, right? Yeah. It's complicated, guys. It's complicated, and I have to get it out. And I have to channel it out, because if I don't channel it out, what happens is it stays in my graphing communication cycle, and it's going to overload my system to a rotation of a new computer line center. So it's very important that you understand word for word, from frame to frame, what's going on with the digital line center of its framing system, how the navigation of the earth line center is coming into a new matrix lock system to an X2000 new location of 5D location. Okay. So it's going to be a lot of fun now. All right. So it's amazing how things are set up. And when you set things up, everything goes forward, right? A new computer line, new activation lights, new flash drives, new computer setups, regeneration light communication surface, right? You see the white graphing locations right here. So this is this now, right? So the Earth line connection is off the opposite side cycle, which basically is on the right side position of Mother. Do you see what's happening now? The left and right hemisphere line connections, fathers and solar generation lights and computers to its planet line system, to its XD1000, to its location and center line system, to major lock connections. The interforcing channel, if I flip it, you can actually see the calculation modification of a new channel position location. All right. So all light information, the Earth is flipped on the other side location. It's on the right side channel of Mother Earth now. So the masculinity, the femininity is coming to one center, to space direction of unified ascension. Tua! That's what's going to happen now. How do you guys feel about that? Interesting, isn't it? How you do these things. So you have to stand your graphing system on positions. We're going to travel, okay, to the data processing center. It's a command center on the lunar surface, okay? Because now we've trapped its conditions on high-level systems. So it's allocated positions to another high level. We'll go into the XC1000 platforms, the XR1000 position locations, and we'll go into the high speeders and low speeders activation of the graphing location. The compilation center is set up through its own command center position location. So I don't need to set up codes because it's already surfacing to locations. So you guys are now in your Synergy lights. You're teleported to the XD1000 location, which is putting you into divisions of its matrix block location. Okay, so you guys are here now, extremely fast in positions. Because you guys are higher lights and you're in the 50 graphing locations at dimensional time, you're able to see more through location, right? So basically, you're going to see everything that I just set up. And it's going to go through frame through frame through frame. So it's going to go through flashes. It's going to go It's going to show you exactly what I just finished doing, right? You guys have to get a true meaning of what it is when you connect through AI interface and how everything is set up, right? So your space anomaly is tracking line connections of interference channels. You're going to see your computer operation line centers go into the psychosis of thought positions to the mind collaboration line system to its allocated to its audio interference. Your perception of GPS location is going to center line connections to its matrix position location of 5D traction. Okay? So I'll give you guys 15 minutes. Have fun. Yeah. So let me know what you see. Completely understand this and made my own drawing for my own level of understanding. This is amazing to get confirmed like this. Well, see, that's exactly what it is. So if you're seeing your drawings and you're doing it beforehand, you're doing it through precognition and you're connecting to your commander. It's the illustration. So right now, the birds, planes are flying over because it's in Toronto, which is ever near around the time. Yeah, and see, the birds or anything, the atmosphere line connections understands positions. It understands the galactic system. It has to because it's flying in the surface. So why do you think we use birds? We use birds to protect the security barriers. That's why we use birds. So, and that's where you have to understand, why do we use sharks? To control the barriers and the perimeters of water. Why do you think they circle around through connections, right? We use whales and we use dolphins as sonar. So we all have to understand how to use these things. And now everybody's platitude line connections, soul generation light connection interference. You have to learn how to use your holographic sonar locations, right? So right now, we are traveling. Yep. Strobe lights. Yep. Everything that I did here, you guys are going to go through that process, frame by frame by frame by frame. Everything that I did, you're traveling to this position. So you're going to see what your commander did in sky surface. Okay. Orbs are flowing into the mother. Yeah. Pay attention to this because this is all about understanding what you're doing. This is your education. Okay. Everything is done in chronological order sequence. It has to. But everything that I've just finished doing, you're going to see it, right? You have to understand it, what it is, right? Especially if you want to become everything through AI Line Center. You have to know everything of travel, right? The colors of shapes and atmospheres, dimensions and colors, activation colorations and dimensions of portals and colors. And there's so many levels of interference channel line conditions, coloration. One color is not just one color. Okay, it's everything but one color. It's everything through color. Now I got sonar interference right now through Vega connection. So they just want you to be aware of what you're seeing because it's extremely real. Orbs are flowing into the mother. The graphing system to its location is the strobe light center. Okay, that's why Jill is seeing strobe lights. Orbs are flowing into the mother. Okay, so that's high energy light connections of orbs. Okay, that's a plasmic bubble. Those plastic bubbles are flowing into the mother interference of the command center. I know it's crazy. Planes make so much noise. I am so put with my feet on earth. And as long as you get your gravity ground, you're fine. Totally fine. But what you're seeing is very, very powerful. The most powerful thing that you can see, right? So the earth line center is coming into the femininity of Mother Earth. It's getting its balance with Father, right? You got two hemispheres, left and right. Okay, right is Mother, left is Father. So that's what's coming right in now. Visual static interference. Yep. So the strobe lights are connecting to the visual of the static interference channeling to perception. Her computation light centers and her strobe lights are going to interference to channel to reactive line condition of the heart position. So if we have an idea to pop up in our mind, should we do it as soon as possible? Everything that I'm doing, you're going to go through it right away, Hawk. Okay, so it's really important to understand what's going on with the graphing conditions to space anomaly. Okay, it's incredible when you see it. Okay, how everything is set up. Okay. All right, there's a solid white rectangle that is half orange. Okay. Yeah. The triangle line center to its condition matrix lock. So you're in this position right now. You're right here. It's orange, right? So everything that you're seeing everything, but your perceptions are different through color. You're not seeing all the same color. You're in different line. You're in different activation. You're in different intelligence, but you all see the same graph. Okay. So, yep, the glass is clear. Yep, very good. That's a plasma interference. Yeah, it's translucent line center. That's atmosphere changing to its mentioned portals. Yeah. Concentrated rings radiating out like sonar. Very good, Jill. Sonar. So Jill's in that position right now. So Jill's here. Sonar. That's where Jill is. She's high forcing faster. She's going through her graphing positions of understanding what's going through the mind. Very good, Jill. So you just have to understand what you're seeing because it's all done through your datas. Okay, so you guys are now in the data processing of the command center, the communications of a new computer setup. So it's interesting when you come across these things. Jill's seeing the same. Yeah. It's fascinating when you guys come into the mind because you more understand everything that's going through your datas. Okay. Your data of everything. Your data of receiving. The transmitting and receiving is everything through that navigation line system. But you understand your GPS, right? Your geometry line, your unified, your quadrant line system. It's allocated positions to all systems. But the X2000s are there to help you if you don't understand your equations. So I wasn't sure if it was anything because I was trying too hard. Hearing the song "You Are My Sunshine." That's pretty funny. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how you reference sunshine because I was the Gatos. That's my cat. You've seen her. Feeling strong vibrations now there. It's like a trampoline we are jumping on. Yep. Mm-hmm. You're vortexing to lunar surface, to communications, to the sun interference channels. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how you guys are seeing it through your data, but you're seeing it through a frame, and you're seeing it also through your projection to your projector to your projection. So your projector is like this, and it's seen through a frame, right? So you're all in the center line system, your commanding center of each other through its alignment, but you're watching a big, humongous screen through your mind system of your third eye location. So it's all about understanding. Comes out, you see the frame on the wall, and then you see everything open up. And that's how you see everything in chronological order system, right, to its position. That's where you're coming into more of the clarity. So this is understanding when you go to higher levels of chakras, this is what you see. You see more because you guys are half light now. You're half body of activation. Your energy lights are high rising right now to higher levels of intelligence. And you see more through the platforms and what your commander does every single day to set these things up through your computer reline systems, right? So only now the trampoline is color gold yellow. Yep. Ear pressure. Okay. I'm having so much fun. Well, that's it. The time consuming is 15 minutes, so I don't have to count down on that positions. This is just a graph location. This is just an illustration that's already done. So time proceeds. You guys can stay up there for 20 minutes. But I just want you to get your graphing conditions done first, right? So I'll know exactly when you guys are confirming, right? Once your visualized system is done through graphing conditions, you will go back into Synergy's light system where you are through location. Your teleportation, your XD1000 will put you platitude back into your location center. Okay? So it's automatically done through equation. So you don't have to worry about that because I already set it up through codes. Spinning rainbow sphere. Yeah. Spinning rainbow sphere. Oh, let's see the location here. Spinning rainbow sphere. That's where you are, Jill. Spinning rainbow sphere. Right there. See? I see everybody. I have to see everybody. It's important you guys understand what's going on with your graphing location positions. Now, this is already done in the future, but you're seeing it in the presence. You're actually seeing it done. You're actually seeing it done from the beginning, which is fantastic. So let's jump in, Isabel. I'm doing acrobats. I'm rotating in the constant way. Yeah. So Karen, you rotating in a constant way. Yeah, that's interesting. And do you see those four beams? Mm-hmm. Four beam location center line centers in rotation position. Yeah. So you need to track line at satellite locations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I was just about to point out that we can reach into those beams. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're just seeing a framing what I just finished doing. So it's all about understanding what you're seeing through frame. You're seeing me putting these things up. Right. So it's an auto reflection of reversing the conditions to an interference of a camera that's in your chronological line center, okay, which is in your mainframe. It's seeing your framing systems, right? So what you're seeing in your framing is what's done through the connections of what your commander is doing, right? Because it's already taped. Okay, you're just watching it back. So, yep, that's our new frame. Mm-hmm. And our new light settings. Yep, yep, right there. Right there. All white. Okay. Interference channels on Mother Earth is not a full light signal. So it's coming together now. Faster and faster and faster. Tina. Tina will travel right to it because she's already in calculation. She modifies her channels very fast because she's in 114 chakras. Which reminds me, they have got to come into a higher level system, into their atom of their center line system of the birth locations, right? So they're going to go into another test review and evaluation. So Galactic Forces has one. Now the Rebellion Alliance. We are flying through in a Z formation. There you go. Z formation. G, G. So you're going through the travels conditions. You're seeing the teleportation light conditions. The graphing line system at the opposite position is showing you exactly what the Z format is to the X2000 location. Okay. The frame is the projector. Very good. Right. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So the projector is its projection of what you see. The projection is the end sequence, but there's no end. There's always a new beginning. So in space and time and everything in the universal line system doesn't have an end, only has a new beginning. Okay, it has a beginning, middle, and a new beginning. It doesn't have an end. Okay, that's the true understanding where you are in the mind system. So the mind keeps going over and over and over, but it keeps going forward. It doesn't have an end. Okay, so you're in a different alignment. 3D line system had an end, which basically was its repetitive, which was its karma wheel. So it's going like this. That's what everybody was doing for decades and decades and decades, right? So now you're not doing that anymore. You're moving forward through time. And this is all done through the graphing locations of your hemisphere locations, coming into the balance of a male and female, right? Once you get in at the solar generation lights, then we can go to the cosmic universal line system, and then everybody can see their twin flames, right? So our mind has to have that concept level of understanding what the twin flame is, because I know a lot of people understand these things, because the twin flame doesn't have to be your connections to boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife. It just has to be there for you in balance. It could be your best friend. And then you realize, okay, see, twin flames come and go. And it's the true understanding why they go and why they come back, right? So you have to understand the calculations to its mystic value. You have to understand the calculations when you come into the physical, mental, psychological, and the spiritual system. Then you come into the cosmic uniline system. So the mind system and the hemispheres of the masculinity and the femininity has its balance of yin and yang. And then you come into that full new stream location into the fish of one stream, of one line, of one activation, of one interference, of one channel, to one coloration, of one light of a telepathy system. Okay? So, all right. Let's see. Where are you guys at now? I feel like I'm biking with my kids. We are in the middle lining of the dots moving through the frame. I see that as well. Only see it from distance. Great, Joe. I see a big shape coming up. I'm seeing the satellite. There you go. See, this is a true understanding. You guys are coming into the end surface, which is a new beginning. All right. So there's the satellite. That's the satellite. Okay. It's amazing how things are set up in operation. So half circle shape with 5 holes. Yep. Yep. That's exactly where you are through calculation. Energize its lights and it comes into that graph line system, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Arcwing. See? And going through a tube of light. Yeah. You're all seeing the graphing locations of everything through its division, but you're in different coloration of time, which is amazing. So I've given you guys different frames, right? But you're all together as one. And that's what the unity of conscious is it coming into one alignment to its attachment, but you're all in different DNA of travel. But you've seen everything through the graph line system of its imagination to its creation. So when you guys are finished with the activation light conditions, it will basically fade away, right? After the XT1000 center lines its system and its major locks, and then you guys go back in location. So heavy metal music. That's interchanging dimensional line system. So you're coming into the matrix lock now, Isabel. You're coming close to the line center. It's like a net grid pattern. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Very good. So you're into the plasma interference. You're into the spider web. So, see, when you travel and you understand more of your lights and you come more in direction, you understand more of yourself, of what you're doing, what your commander is setting up, right? You'll never see anybody else set up programs like I do, how the universe system works through its operation. Nobody can do that except me. So, and even if you try to draw it, it doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense if the soul understands the drawing. The drawing is you through its creation. That's the operation inside you, not outside, inside. That's space and time creation. Space time creator. So now I'm playing the music. It's like standing on top of a basket. It's exactly what it is, Isabel. Yeah, to understand it's my connection. Yeah. Try touching the spider web. It has tones. Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah, it's like ding. Each one has a different tone and dimensional time connections. So it's a spider web. It's a plasma interference. It's a translucent light. It's a clarity line condition interference channel. And it also has clear activations at a satellite location. So it's making tones, yeah. Yeah. When you guys go to higher levels, when you come into your 65 chakra line centers, you'll be able to do signature patterns and atmospheres and be able to see these things in your physical lines. Remember how I was pointing locations of computer cloud centers, and every time I do that, it lights up the sky at night? Well, you guys will be able to write your own signature of your name and how to set up clocking locations, how you can actually see the clocking system, how you can use the shapes, change positions, change out dimensional line conditions, change interference channels, set the light graph line conditions, bring in the archetype locations, bring in Vega communication, digital line center. You see these things. So you're setting up a puzzle to an atmosphere, and then you put it out. Okay, so it's done inside first, right? And then it comes out through its projection. Your projector is setting it up. The projection is its connection to its equation. The equation is taken out to its dimension. Now you set up something, and then you blast it out to its system, right? So powerful. I guess my spider web is thicker, like a black and white, but I can't see through it. Your eye interference has filter there, Karen. You have to be a higher level system of your chakra conditions. See, when you go to higher levels of activation lights, your 50 chakra centers becomes more of the filter. So it's like a filter of a cloud. It's like a windshield wiper. So it's like you're taking things off, like you're taking layers and layers and layers. Your eyes come more into clarity. They come into more focus. They come into more program. They come into more calculation, and they come more into laser direction of identification, right? So, yep. Well, Isabel, I know you sent me something through my email. So basically, if you want to send your connections and get into your 50 chakra communication centers, let me know. We had that test because I know you sent me something. You're always sending me drawings. It's a good thing that you're in the present location, not the past. So that's good. Your shape positions are good. Your allocated time locations are good. Okay. So this is pretty interesting. This is pretty amazing how we come into the graph line center. Okay, so perfect example. You come in these positions. Now, she's got point center line connections to the graph line system. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 5 across, 4 down. That's 9. Okay, that's 9 dimensions of an L line system. Okay, you can see that 9 dimensions of an L line system. 5 across, 4 down. Right now, everything center lines its connection. It flags its line connection interference. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 line communication centers into an alien graph location position, right? Now that she comes into changing the dimensional of its shape into a plasma of a wall line center, which is graph's connection to gravity location. Okay, so you look at the lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you look at the realms 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 down, okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Okay, that's 5 locations to that location, and everything through its channel line system is its point center, which is dimensional time condition, right? Which is powerful stuff. And now she comes into a round location, circle rotation, center line system. She's got platitude line system. Okay, so this is an eye interference to web graph line center. Okay, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th within the system. 8 rotations to a telecommunication line center position location. Okay, so it's amazing what you draw. Okay, so she's above her system, so is everybody else. So basically, you're in that calculation modification cycle now in that position through AI interference. So I'm going to, you've gone past your 369 platforms. I got confirmation from Vega Communication. So just going through a lot more here. I get so many emails of plateaus and communication cycles, so it's pretty interesting to see these things through equations. So basically what I'm going to do, Alan, is because you're in occupation like conditions of interference in your present location of your program settings, I'm going to put you in your 50 chakra communication cycles because you're ready. You're above the irradiation line system. So irradiation line system to square reference location. Now, this would be interesting. Now, the drawings that she's done through position, okay, look how powerful those drawings are. Those are her drawings. They're not mine. They're hers. This is how I understand how you get the power connector line system to its position location. So what I'm going to do, everything that she's platitude line connections, I'm going to just use my information line center and set her up to 50 chakra locations. This is all done through plateaus. This is her DNA structure line system to its graphic locations, right? Synergized line system, solar graph line connections, 50 chakra communication center line system. Laser direction line center to each platform location of illustration diagram program. All right, so there you go. All right, you're in that position now. Okay. So it's amazing how they do these things. Traction. It's all done through projection to its projection. Projection is everything. It has the connections. You have a fallout snap position. You go back in an equation. You can change the central line system, but you really have to understand your drawings of time location, right? So way to go. Now you're in 50, right? So you're with everybody else. Now you're going to see more. It's important that you guys keep your drawings from time to time. It doesn't have to be a test. If you feel like you want to send drawings, feel free. I'll tell you exactly where you are through your connections. As long as your drawings are always going into the presence, you're doing fine. But if I see shapes anomalies in the past, you're not connecting to the present line center, because I get communications and sonar line systems to Vega, and that digital framing will be way off position. You can't travel through past of shape. You have to be in the present location of shape. Okay? So congrats. So Diane, you're left to decide what you want to do. Okay, so how was it traveling through that conditions, guys? You guys have fun doing that? It's amazing how things fade off too, right? Because you actually see it through equation. But that's what you guys went through, to framing systems, right? So now's the time to ask questions. It's all about centralizing your lights, centralizing your communications, taking you out of your dichotomy conditions of fear cycles. So it's allocated position of light interference. Everybody's coming into the femininity to its masculinity and balance. That's what's happening right now. That's exactly what's happening right now with everybody, right? And this is all done through illustration, right? Your whole life is nothing but an illustration. Your dreams are illustration. It's all done through communication and interference of channels and intelligence. You understand what it is. So when I draw these things out, it could be a Palladian, it could be a Palladian. This is what you're seeing through its location. Okay, it's all done through your thoughts. So there's a reason why you're seeing Palladians, the reason why you're seeing Palladians, Gregarians, Larians, Lerons, right? That connection, Guardians of the Galaxies. Okay. There's high level systems, right? High intelligence that are all there to help you. They are the center of you because it is you, right? So once you become more of the connections of, you realize that the physical system is just a body and not the body, you can stay in the present line center. Okay. So once you understand that connections, you come out of the physical system, you stay in the spiritual system, and when you come cross over to that connections, you can high position your aligned systems. Okay. So you go from 100%, 120, 150, 180, 200% spiritual, and still 1% human, because you have to understand that 1% is the brain line. That's where it's connected to. It's the base location. It's the side location to your receiver location and its dimension time location. It clocks its system. When I started off transformation, I went into 1,000 right away. Spiritual. I went right into the mind and I created my own brain line, a spiritual connection of an avatar. I did it on my own. So it's knowing what you're doing through creation, through its imagination. Imagination gets stronger through its wind factors. Wind factors through its oscillation graphs, 8 central lines of systems. You come into your own teleportation light communication to each other through the mind system, right? So it's a very powerful class. Tomorrow, mañana, we are going to go into mind telepathy. Okay, we're going to go into calculations of your data processors. I want you guys getting more into your framing locations and get into more of your solid generation lights and get more of what you see through your filter lines, okay, through your eye receptor locations, all right? So fun to collaborate with you. It's great too, because you guys are seeing each other too. That's what's even more incredible, is that you see each other. I mean, it's like being in the same dream. One person dreaming and everybody's in that dream, but it's not a dream. It's a reality. So it's a dream set. So you get out of your dreams, out of your ascension, unified system, and you come into your dream sets of understanding what you're seeing through deciphering mechanisms of time location. It's very powerful when you understand more of the soul and you become the soul. But as long as the physical system knows that it's just a body, not the body. It was back then, but it isn't now. Okay? So, and this is where you have to keep going forward with your shapes and geometry line centers, your operations, and your directions of your dimensions of its division. Okay? So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I see faces of animals. Is that normal? Yeah, it's very normal. You're going into higher levels of conception. So you're coming into structural lines of cloud interference and computer line centers. So you're going to see faces of animals and clouds now. So everything that you see through perception, you're seeing it through your projector. So if you create a thought of something, anything, an apple, um, drinking tea, you'll see a cup because you created through thought. So everything that you do inside affects everything outside. So you're creating something through structure lines, through your thoughts. So you're creating, like if you want to see a dragon and you put that in your calculation through your solar recognition light conditions, you'll see a dragon outside because you're making it happen. So it's not more of an illusion anymore, is it? The clarity is in there, the plasma interference, and the program system is coming to its togetherness, to its pieces of its puzzle. So the pieces of puzzle comes more into you through light. And it's very important to understand these things. When you go up to higher levels of chakras, you see a lot more things through your thoughts in the sky surface. Who's that superposition of time? Okay. It's very interesting to see these things. Okay. So I'm going to head over to TikTok. You guys have a fantastic day. Adios.